Yes, people, welcome back to the Magpie Channel TV, and today it's a contentious one. It's one of those ones that's going to raise a few eyebrows and get the comments going, I'd imagine, because it's a strong opinion that's been in the past about the stadium and its name and sponsorship and everything. So I don't think this one's going to go away in terms of divided opinions and stuff, but let me know in the comments what you think. I'll tell you what I think soon. We'll get straight into it. It is the fact that, I'll tell you what, last week, there was that many unbelievable videos on the channel, right, if I do say so myself, that I just didn't have time to do this video, and I'd been mulling over it. There was a great article in The Athletic, the link will be in the description. It was a 1 year takeover special where they had a list of bullet points about things Newcastle United are going to look at in the near future, how to improve the club, and we're going to focus on, in today's video, the financial side of things in terms of revenue, sponsorship, how we can drive that up to increase our global appeal and ultimately increase our chance of signing the biggest and best players to become the biggest and best team in the world, as the new owners have said is their aim. And look, the man Stavely reiterated last week to The Athletic that his plan is still to win the Premier League within the next, well, it was last year, 5 to 10 years, a year later, within the next 4 to 9 years. That is still the goal. And to do that, we have really got to sort out the piss poor commercial side of things that Mike actually left this club in. There's 4 people working in the commercial department at the club right now. There's 250 people at the other big clubs in the leagues, Manchester United, Manchester City, Arsenal. There's hundreds and hundreds of staff who are looking after stuff like that, and we've got 4. What is this? 4 guys. There's less people at Newcastle sorting things out than there is making burgers in town. 5 guys. Do you know what I mean? What's going on? How can there only be that many people at a Premier League club? Absolute joke. Mental how that's the case. So that is something they've got to improve on. That is something they're going to employ. But the way they sort out the revenue deals, the way they increase sponsorship, big part of that can be stadium naming rights. Now then, the first good thing I'm going to point out is that the owners have said that anything amongst this kind of level of subject change, so if they were going to name the stadium something else or get a sponsor involved, there will be consulting fans on this and other big decisions. There will be talking to fans about it, getting their opinions on it, getting their views on it. So that's great. Again, that's brilliant that they can actually connect with the fans, with the community, get an understanding. It's not like Mike Ashley where it's just 1 second, I'm going to do this because I'm a fat cunt. Not going to do that. So it's not like we're going to wake up tomorrow and it's going to be called Saudi Golf St James's Park or whatever. It's not like when Mike Ashley just started whacking up Sports Direct signs and it was Sports Direct Arena outside and Sports Direct at St James's Park. But that could be something very similar that we see with these new owners. So what they're looking at doing is more so a stadium partner is what their suggestion, instead of stadium. Well, it could come with this though, this is a way of just building it up, because let's be honest, right, we're not going to get everything right, and it's not going to be all 100% happy days, okay, because at the end of the day, PIF, Saudi Arabia, they're involved in Newcastle because they want to grow their appeal, they want to grow their brand. It's not all just about looking after the Geordies, they're going to do that as much as they can, as much as they want to, but at the same time, they are going to have to build their brand. They're going to be putting stuff at St James's Park. We've seen it with this kit that I'm wearing right now. They're building their own business as well. Gudassi and Stavely have called it a business as well. Now, obviously, we're hoping, and we know by the signs so far, the best interests of the fans and everything are at heart, proven by this consultation, but the Public Investment Fund of Saudi Arabia are not really going to give 2 shits if Mark and Susan from Walker or Baker or any other names around Newcastle think that this shouldn't be renamed Aramco St James's Park or Saudi James's Park. I don't think they're going to go that far. I don't think it's going to be Saudi James's Park. It's got a nice ring to it, actually. Imagine the outrage on that on Match of the Day and everything else. Sky Sports did have a field day with it. But it's not going to be like that, all right? Or is it? This is what I mean. I think it definitely could be St James's Park and Aramco. St James, Saudi Airlines at St James's Park. Something like that. Or like the signs are going to be everywhere. The best thing to do would be not put them up opposite the Newcastle United sign in the East Stand, but maybe put them above the Gallagher. You got Castoria badges there at the minute. Maybe you could just have a Saudi Airlines there, or there's ways around it where they just need to be subtle and professional with it and not go mad with it. So we wouldn't want to see it renamed. We wouldn't want to see it renamed Aramco Arena or Saudi Airlines Stadium, whatever. We've seen it in recent times. It's a massive thing. Tottenham Hotspur at the minute are in talks with Google over billions of pounds sponsorship deal, hundreds of millions, billions, to make the Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. It's still called that because they still haven't got a sponsor, because Daniel Levy is still greedy Daniel Levy, the Tottenham owner. So they are looking at maybe calling it the Google Arena and getting a few hundred million, $1 billion over a period of time. I mean, that's mental. That amount of money could literally transform Spurs from 4th to challenging for the league. If they're going to get 400, 500, 600 million off Google for this deal, the amount of money they can reinvest in their squad there, they can sign, Conte can sign 3 world-class players like that and literally elevate them to the status above Liverpool, challenging City. Do you know what I mean? So that's how big it is. That's how big it can change in football. We've seen Barcelona do it. They were in the mud with their finances. It's not called the New Camp anymore. It's called Spotify New Camp. These things are happening. It's football. It's business. Got to move with the times, I'm afraid. I hate it. I absolutely detest it. And it is annoying because we do have the owners we are the richest club in the world. So I can hear people already asking, well, why do we need to get sponsorship deal in money when we've got all this money sitting in a pot? FFP. Financial fair play. Yet again. Because we can't just, like Man City did, like Chelsea did, have a big wad of cash, empty it, fill it up again, empty it, fill it up again. You see where I'm going with this? We can't keep on doing that. You need to be able to bring in money, revenue deals, sponsorship deals, and this is a gateway to being able to splash the cash. If we get Saudi Airlines in and they give us 350 million and name it Saudi Airlines, St. James's Park, whatever it may be, they might not even take the naming rights. They might just be the business partner on the roof, or like I said, above the Gallagher, or loads of billboards like Sports Direct was, or maybe a sign outside of the ground, whatever. It doesn't mean that they're going to take over it completely. But that kind of revenue means you can splash the cash. It means you can increase the way you battle with FFP, and that's a glorious way of doing it, and it is a way that we will do it, definitely. This will definitely happen. Okay, now, like I said, the owners are going to consult the fans, have a conversation with the fans, but at the end of the day, Stavely, me, you, might want it to be St. James's Park forever, but the bloke that owns Newcastle in Saudi Arabia and the PIF, the Public Investment Fund Group, will want their name on it. They will want one of their businesses on it. Now, PIF today have spent in the billions, 2 billion, on sponsorship deals over in their native country. So in the Saudi League, they sponsor the 2 biggest teams. They're sponsoring everything. They're putting the brand out there. We all know PIF is a part of loads of stuff like Disneyland, Uber, the list goes on, Facebook. They have a piece of that pie. They have a huge share in these huge global companies. So they are going to, again, want to increase it. They're on about doing what Manchester City did, the Etihad, where they, Manchester City or New York City, and they've got is it Melbourne, they've got an Australian side, they've got a team in Brazil. It's everywhere, and that is exactly what PIF will do and Saudi Arabia will do. So I think this one will happen. I think the naming rights will change, but like I say, I hope I don't think that will go as far as completely change the name. I don't think they would do that. They just know it wouldn't fly. They knew the reaction last time when Mike Ashley did that. But that being said, we didn't like Mike Ashley. I mean, if Mike Ashley was going out and signing the likes of Bruno and Trippier back in the day, those type of level of players I'm talking about, spending 200 million in a couple of transfer windows, would we have been a bit more lenient on him changing the name? Probably not, because we're old school and we're traditional, and that's the way we are in the north. Like, I think when you've seen it at Arsenal, Emirates Stadium, they couldn't give a shit, could they? Well, I bet there's loads of fans actually that do give a shit, and we're still at Highbury, and the same goes for West Ham, the London Stadium and all that. But the point is that there's nothing we can do about it. There's nothing the little man can do about it, really, is there? Do you know what I mean? So we're not in control of these things, but it is great how they've said they will consult with. Hopefully they do take that into account. But football's moving forward, business is moving forward. That's the way the global, especially in the Premier League, you've got no chance. But I just think and I hope that they don't go full blown, they don't change the rights. It is St. James's Park. And if it's St. James's Park, I don't know, any of that Saudi Golf or whatever, I don't know, one of them big companies that they want to do, or even if it was PIF at St. James's Park, that's not too bad, is it, really? Kind of? I don't know. It's not. We want it to stay the same, of course you do, but like I say, things change, times change, and if it's at the cost of having ambition, I mean, right, what are you going to do? Are you going to take back an English owner, or an American owner, or a Dutch owner? Mike Ashley style, or even if they were just doing nothing and spending a little bit of money, and their ambition was just to be 12th, 13th every year, not sign big players, not sign exciting players, would you have that back and then keep St. James's Park forever, or would you have a Saudi sponsor, or any sponsor? We're saying it's Saudi, and I think it will be, again, to grow that part of the world. But just say it was, looking around me living room here, PlayStation. Just say it was PlayStation. PlayStation at St James's Park. You know what I mean? PS5 at SGP. Would you be that bothered? Would you take that and have money and ambition and try and be the best team in the world, or would you take mid-table football, mid-table everything, mid-table signings, and just have St James's Park forever? I mean, for me, call it the PS5 arena if you want. If we're going to win the league, that sounds so shallow, but I'm in this to win. I've got ambition. Do you know what I mean? I want European nights, and if that European night means it has to be at the PS5 arena or the Saudi Airlines arena or whatever you want arena, I don't know. Whatever. But like I say, hopefully it just doesn't get out of hand. They consult the fans, they take it into account, and we can all move forward and be happy and ambitious. It's an interesting one. It's a divisive one, I think. So let me know in the comments below what you make of the news that Newcastle United are seeking a stadium partner, whether that means naming rights or just put the logo in there, whatever. Hopefully not a full name change. Don't think it would be. But let us know in the comments. Subscribe, like my channel TV, and I'll see you on the next one.